Money in relationships can feel tricky, but if you follow just a set of rules that we're going to share with you today, you'll find yourselves managing money such a peaceful way in your relationship. Not only will you be managing money peacefully, but you will just feel like you're on the same page when it comes to finances and that things are in the right place and you can focus on just building your love for each other. We are Tanda and Lindy from Skill Finances. This is the place to be if you want to learn everything about how to manage money as a couple.
The first rule that I feel like every couple should really follow or have in their relationship when it comes to money is talk about money often. And the reason I say this is, think about it this way. When couples want to go on holiday or when couples are thinking about, what should we eat tomorrow? What takeaway should we have? They will always ask the question and they'll always have a conversation about those things. So why are we not talking about money? Why are we not talking about our spending? Why are we not talking about saving? Why are we not talking about our money goals? When we have constant conversations about money, it allows us to be on the same page. So this rule is super, super important. If you want to be on the same page, walk the same walk, walk in the same direction, really, have conversations about money often.
The second rule is that trust is actually more important than love when it comes to money. Now, hear us out. You can love somebody and not really trust them with your money. Now, imagine that scenario, right? You and your partner are in love, but your partner comes and asks you for money. You have a little bit of a, I'm not 100% sure I trust you to take care of us in this arena. Now, that could obviously ruin your financial connection that you have between the two of you. And so when it comes to money, what you really want to ensure that you're building is trust. How do you build trust? Well, you just ensure that you effectively do what you agree to do, right? You don't talk about one thing and then you go off and do your own thing separately. You don't agree to do something as a team, but then you're doing things that are sabotaging the things that you've agreed to do as a team. So that's what we feel that when it comes to your finances, trust plays a huge role as opposed to, the love is still important, of course, but trust plays a much bigger role.
Now, I love that you spoke about trust because the next rule is to avoid financial infidelity. Now, if you do this one, the second rule is completely broken.
Gone.
Trust is gone. There's no trust in the relationship. And I think the one thing about trust in relationships is when you break trust in one area, it becomes very easy for your partner to be like, well, if you could do this with money, what have you done with other things? What have you done with other things to do with the relationship that have nothing to do with money at all? So financial infidelity is a no-no.
So some examples of this could be that you lie about your partner, about your spending habits, you apply for credit cards or debt or car finance, and you don't tell them about it until after you've done it. It's little things like that you just kind of think, why would you do that behind my back? Or why would you not tell me about it?
It's not always things on the negative side of this girl. It could be you getting bonuses and you're getting them and you're literally hiding them from your partner, or you're choosing to just give money to people without telling your partner as well. It will cause your partner to start questioning, why are you doing that? As soon as that why question is brought up in a negative sort of light, there's a problem. That's a really big problem in the relationship.
The fourth money rule is to avoid the double income trap. Now, I'm sure you have heard of the lifestyle inflation, which basically means that as your income goes up, your expenses go up with it, because the more money you have, the more expensive of a house you buy, or more expensive car you get, or just the more things you start signing up to pay monthly for. But actually what you want to aim to do is to increase your income whilst keeping your expenses level, or as level as possible, without them increasing too much. Now, this is easily done when you have now in a relationship. Now there's two of you, there's two incomes. What can easily happen is you find yourself needing both incomes to sustain your lifestyle. What we are saying is just be mindful of that and get to a position where you avoid a scenario where as both of your incomes are increasing, your expenses are increasing with it. You want to maintain the expenses as low as you possibly can, and as your income goes up, you then take that excess and use that for things like saving or investing or paying down debts or even giving. This is the powerful thing of avoiding the double income trap, but it's so easily done amongst couples. So don't miss this rule out.
Absolutely. And I feel like it comes in so handy when you have things like our situation right now where I'm on maternity.
Right.
Think about it. If we were living on both incomes and I'm on maternity, life would be so tough because you're adding a child onto that. And then you're also
taking away that income.
Taking away the income.
Because your maternity.
It just makes it so much harder. But definitely try and live below your means. Like there's that saying, live below your means. Don't go overboard. So the next rule is to manage money together. I think a lot of the times when we say this particular thing, like work together with your money, people assume that we mean put your money together or join your money together, but that's not what we mean. Managing your money together basically to us is being on the same page when it comes to your money. It's you guys having conversations about how much money you get, what you're doing with the money, where the money is going, what sort of direction you're taking with your money, what's your money goals, what are money goals as a team. So it's about managing your money together and working together with your money. And the thing is, when you do that, oh my God, like the sky's the limit. The way that you will work as a team is actually really amazing, because if one person's going that way, the other person's going that way, and you say that you're in a relationship and you want to grow together, it's like, yeah, how does that work?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
So yeah, definitely work together and manage your money as a team. Even if it means you're doing 50-50 split, it's knowing that, okay, you're paying for 50% of the bills, I'm paying for 50% of the bills, and then I just let you know, like, with the rest of my money, this is what I'm doing. You still know what's going on, even though we have a 50-50 type of way of dealing with the money. Just manage your money together.
So whether you're doing a 50-50, joint, all of these different terms that we're throwing out there, effectively what we're trying to tell you that there's different ways to manage money as a couple. Now, we have put together a free couples budgeting guide that you can download right now to learn about all the different ways that you and your partner can manage money as a team, and then you just learn about the options that you do have and pick the one that works for you right now. Try one and see, would it work for us? And if that doesn't work, you've got plenty other ways to manage money as a team. So click the link in the description below to download that free guide and get started. The sixth thing is to ensure that both of you have some discretionary spending money, whatever that looks like, right? Don't be caught in a situation where, I understand it, life gets serious, you got bills to pay, you got family to take care of, you got groceries to buy and all of that good stuff. But just ensure that each of you still has something that you can just do whatever you wish to without asking for permission or having a discussion or having to think about how would this impact the family. No. Just here's money for you. I have money for me, and we just spend. This is, by the way, I'm talking about money that's beyond your kind of bills money. Just money that you can spend on whatever you want. Just ensure that something is in place in your relationship for this. And again, this is super powerful because you're still two different individuals with two different hobbies, two different likes, two different things that you want to do. And it's important to acknowledge that. And one of the best ways to acknowledge that is just to ensure that in your budget, when you are managing money together, you've got a section in there for my spending money, her spending money, and both of you are happy with it.
So talking about spending money, it's also important to make sure you still spend money on each other.
Yeah.
Build and cultivate the relationship. So make sure you're actually spending money on each other.
I think this one is probably more potent for those of you who have been in your relationship for some time now.
Yeah.
And things have just kind of, as Linda said, other priorities have come up. Maybe you've had kids, maybe you've had, house renovations to look at, all of these different things that come up. But as we're saying, just ensure that kind of you keep that fire burning, the romance going, and you make sure that there's money in there so that you can keep going on your date nights. Rule number 8 is to make sure that you're putting money aside for your future selves. Don't be so focused and caught up in what needs to be done today that you forget that, listen, you might still be alive 30 years from now. You might still be here 50 years from now. So ensure that effectively you are investing your money for your future selves. Investing looks many in different forms, right? You could invest through things like your pension pots or your 401k if in the US, and investing in things like your stocks and shares ISAs, basically investing in the stock market, or maybe you you go down the property route or the business route, whatever that means. But the point I'm trying to make here is that you're just mindful of the fact that, we're not just thinking about today. We're thinking about where do we want to be 50 years from now,
Right.
20 years from now, 10 years from now, right? Is financial independence something that you want to do? Do you want to move countries? Do you want to kind of do things very differently for yourselves? Whatever that means, just bear that in mind, that you have a future vision that you are still building and that you're still putting in the work today that you will effectively thank yourself for in the future. So don't neglect your future financially.
So the ninth rule is to make sure that you have a team mentality when it comes to your money. The thing is, if you're not working together as a team or walking together as a team, you really have to think, where is the future of our relationship going? What is the direction that we're heading in as a couple? Because we're not working as one. We're not as one. Like, for those of you that are Christians and read the Bible, you have to think of Amos 3 verse 3, which says, how can two walk together unless you're agreed? It doesn't mean that you join your money. It doesn't mean that you completely agree with everything that your partner says, because you are still two different people, right? But it means that you come together and you work together. You have those conversations that need to be had. It's just about making sure that you're united when it comes to your finances. Even if, for example, a family member's to come along and be like, hey, can I just borrow some money? A teammate would say, wait, let me just have a conversation with my partner, or let me discuss this with my partner and come back to you. But someone who isn't working, or someone who isn't united with their partner, or isn't working together with their partner, would just be like, yeah, you can have it, without really talking to their partner to see how they feel about that. So work together as a team. Make sure that you're united in the decisions that you make about your finances, because by doing so, you're on the same page, you're walking in the same direction, and you know where you're heading as a couple and as a team.
The 10th and final rule is to protect each other financially. Now,
Right.
this is really two ways that we think about this. The first way, have some insurance. Honestly, life will happen.
Yeah.
Emergencies will come up. Things will break down and fall apart. You're going to need a way of ensuring that you're not going to find yourselves broke, or you're not going to find yourselves falling into debt or further into debt because of an emergency that's happened. So ensure that you protect yourself by having, things like car insurance, home insurance, and all these other types of insurance. Life insurance is so important, especially if you have kids. 100% would say consider it.
Yeah.
And that's insurance aside. The second part is then savings, right? Ensure that you got your emergency fund in
Right.
place, you got your sinking fund in place. Basically have enough cash on hand that you're not going to be left wanting when something comes up.
Yeah.
Just to ensure that you have that protection in place. The reason why this is important in your relationship is because it gives you that sense of financial peace. And when you're not stressed out about money, you will not stress each other out. But when you are stressed about money, guess what? Guess what's going to happen? The first person who's going to feel the brunt of that stress is your partner.
Yeah.
But when you have this protection in place, it alleviates that. Obviously, you want to alleviate every single risk and every single thing, but it helps for sure.
So those are the 10 money rules that we feel like every couple should utilize in their relationship. Which ones did you agree with? Which ones did you like? Let us know in the comment section down below.
And don't forget to download the free couples budgeting guide that would teach you how to manage money as a team and all the various ways that you can do it in your relationship. The link is in the description. It has been a pleasure. We'll see you on the next one.